Sky News host and Sunday Herald Sun columnist Steve Price joins me now. Steve, what did you make of Peter Dutton's quite extraordinary speech in question time today? I'm going to come back to it and play it on the show a bit later because it really was sensational in the way that he stood up for the Jewish community, really strong comments. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I think he was very powerful. I think Peter Dutton has really risen in this whole issue over both the Jewish situation in Australia, the anti-Semitism that's on the rise, Sharri, that you've covered so brilliantly, and he's also risen on this issue of these 83 people who have been released into the community. I mean, I think there's always been some question marks over Peter Dutton. I think what he's shown, particularly today, and I'm pleased you're going to play that speech at length, I think what Peter Dutton has shown that he is showing real leadership. And what it's showing is that compared to Anthony Albanese, he's not walking away from the hard decisions. He's prepared to lead and he's prepared to make unpopular decisions if need be. And I think Peter Dutton's chances of becoming the next Prime Minister are growing by the day.
Now, one Labor politician who is showing leadership on anti-Semitism is the New South Wales Premier Chris Minns. And today he blasted a Western Sydney-based business that refused to hire out a jumping castle to Masada School. It's a Jewish school in Sydney. And this company then bragged about it on social media, calling it outrageous. The owner of the Western Sydney company, and I'm not going to give them publicity by saying their name, well, Tanya Isa took to Instagram saying that she was refusing this request from Masada College. She said, "There's no way I'm taking a Zionist booking. I don't want your blood money. Free Palestine." Steve, what do you think of this?
Well, the only reason I'd use their name, and because you don't want to, I won't, is to send them broke. I mean, this is just an outrageous decision by this company. Jumping castles are for kids to have fun on. And, you know, this company has just made an absolute mess of what they've said on that social media post. And I would urge anyone who does know the name of it not to use their services in the future. And I can't believe that this decision by her to do that hasn't broken some anti-discrimination laws or race hate laws in the state of New South Wales. And you're right, Chris Minns, the Premier of New South Wales, has been stronger than any of his other Labor colleagues as premiers right around the country.
Well, that brings us to your Premier in Victoria, Steve, Jacinta Allen. And meanwhile, she's defending a pro-Palestine school strike. I mean, honestly, defending kids going out of school to protest against Israel, it's disgusting. This is planned for next Thursday, and the Premier said it's a fundamental principle of our democracy that must not and should not change. This is an absolute failure of leadership, Steve.
Is it ever? And look, Jacinta Allen is of the socialist left. She spent her entire student political career and now her political career as a pro-Palestine politician and activist. And this is her worst nightmare because she's supposed to be the Premier of the whole state and look after all Victorians, and clearly she's not. And to say that kids could just walk out of school and gather on the steps of Flinders Street, all you're doing is taking the division between the Jewish population of Melbourne, students, and non-Jewish students, and putting it into the classroom and causing more disruption. It is absolutely outrageous that she would support that. I hope she changes her mind, and I hope parents who are watching and listening say to their kids, don't get involved.
Exactly. And we know how aggressive and anti-Semitic those protests are, and now we're just exposing a young generation to that. It's really quite awful. Meanwhile, the former Premier, Daniel Andrews, has been blocked from joining an elite golf club that I believe you might be a member of, Steve, the Portsea Golf Club on the Mornington Peninsula. Give us the inside scoop. What's going on here?
Well, there's been a development this afternoon. The president of my club, the Portsea Golf Club, has said that there won't be any new members put up until the second quarter of next year. But if Dan Andrews is nominated, he'll let the process run as the constitution of the club says it should. But I can give the president a message tonight. Most of the members of his golf club would not want Dan Andrews as a member. If Dan Andrews is allowed to join the Portsea Golf Club, I'll quit, I'll resign, I'll tear up my membership, and I'll go and play golf somewhere else.
Why? Why can't you play golf alongside the former Premier?
This is the Premier who stopped us playing golf for 2 years during COVID. This is the Premier who locked down this community even though we're 120 kilometres out of the city. Same Premier who let people on the other side of the bay play golf. No way should that man come into the golf club. And I tell you what, golf clubs are places where people like to get on with each other. And I know that the majority of members at that golf club that I know, I'm not saying all of them, but the ones that I know, would be very uncomfortable having him there. I hope he does not get into our club.
I'm so surprised at that. I mean, I thought we could all have different opinions, but that you can still kind of wave at someone. I've never played golf myself, so maybe it's not just a matter of waving from across a golf course, but I'll take your word for it. Steve Price, thank you so much for your time.